Hey everyone, Eric here. I'm here at the HOWZAT Jam rehearsal room and working on a little bit of my live rig. I'll show you some of that in a second. And got the place to myself tonight so I can make some extreme noise, which I can't do back home. So testing out some of my Helix units, various ways I'm going to be possibly running live. I'm not sure how I'm doing this yet. Gigs are coming, so time to work the stuff out now before we get closer to the live dates. So I'm trying different things with 4-cable method with my Helix units. I'm going direct to the preamps. I'm trying just with my amps on their own. Helix directly to the front of the house. I'm not sure yet. I've ran all these different ways during rehearsals and things like that. So trying to find the right common denominator, and I'm not 100% there. But I've had a couple friends, including my good friend Greg. Greg, if you're watching this is mainly for you because I've been promising you a rig rundown for quite some time. So I'm going to show you what I've got here and talk about some of the stuff, and maybe between what I try and some suggestions you all give me as well too, we'll find the right common denominator and make this my happy place here. So let's have a look at some of the gear. All right, so the main nucleus of everything here is the Line 6 Helix. Now this, what I'm looking at here right now is the Helix Floor. There's really no difference between the floor and the rack unit that's over there in the green unit. Now the rack unit ends up using a controller like this. It's basically the same thing as the floor unit, except it's in two pieces, whereas the floor here is all one piece. Kind of nice. I would still use those expression pedals here from Mission Engineering. I use two of those, whether I'm using the Helix Floor here or not. But what I'm running right now, to give you a tone test, I'm running through the 5150 Iconic. That's Mr. James Brown's creation. James, if you're watching this, cool, awesome. I love your amp, love your work. So I'm running through that right now into the 412. And I am running 4-cable method. So what that means is I'm kind of using Helix, not as amp modeling per se. I'm using it strictly for effects. And by running 4-cable method, I can run some pedals to the front of the amplifier, like you'd run like your phaser, your flanger, your wah pedal, distortions, or things like that. And then, other effects like reverbs and delays and things of that nature, I run to the effects loop. And it lets me do that. Now, at one time, a while back at rehearsal here, I had some uncontrollable feedback, and it really wasn't the guitar feedback at all. It wasn't the guitar feedback, it was something in the loop, and it was causing uncontrollable feedback even with the guitar's volume off. So that was coming from my Helix rack. Now, I may have done something wrong on that, but right now, tonight here, by running in 4-cable method right now, everything seems to be working. And what I'm also doing, this amplifier here, as most of you know, is a 2-channel amplifier. It's a rhythm, like a dirty channel, and then a super heavy lead channel. So it's only a 2-channel amplifier. The way I'm running this right now in 4-cable method is I've actually created a clean preset, and what it does is it bypasses the preamp completely in the 5150 and is using whatever preamp I choose out of Helix. I happen to be using a Fender, I think it's it might be a Fender Twin, or it's a Princeton or something. I'm not sure what I'm using, but it's a Fender amplifier anyways, and it's very, very clean. So I'll give you some of the tone samples of that right now. I'm still not 100% sold because there is a difference, but when I'm running just directly into the amplifier as opposed to the 4-cable method here with the Helix. I love Helix to death, as most of my guitar player friends know me. I love Helix, but there's a tone difference, and I'm not sure where I'm at with this yet. So I'm going to just stop recording here for a second so I can actually put the phone down somewhere here, and I'll try some of the clean, rhythm, and dirty lead channel on this with 4-cable method through Helix, and we'll let you see what we sound like right now. All right, this is just the rhythm channel using Helix and 4-cable method. Some of my Van Halen presets. clean, which the 5150 Iconic does not have a clean channel, but by using Helix and 4 cable method, I have bypassed the preamp on the 5150, and I'm using a Fender preamp in Helix. So here's what we got here. Chunky 5150 Iconic rhythm. Okay, so I'll show one other thing here as well too. So right now on the back of Helix, I'm running out the external amplifier cable, and that's running to the back of the 5150 Iconic to the foot switch jack. And I've got some instant commands into the command center here on Helix. So when I select the rhythm channel or the lead channel, that's going to change channels over there on the 5150 Iconic. So watch, if I hit the lead, that's going to change over to the lead channel. That's red, see that? Go back to rhythm, so that's changing channels there. And then if I hit clean right here, what that's going to do, that's bypassing the preamp completely in 5150 and is using a Fender preamp, which is right up in here, that little block right there. It's like a Fender, nice Fender clean amplifier anyway, so that sounds pretty cool. So that's a neat feature, switching channels with Helix. Now I could do the same thing as well too with the EL34, but that one I use, I chose MIDI to switch that one. So Helix has MIDI on the back as well too, somewhere back there, right in there. We can send MIDI commands out to the EL34 and change channels that way as well. A little bit different, but we can still do it that way too.